With the opening of the Great Rift and the return of the Silent King, more and more dynasties are rising up to full strength and taking back the galaxy from the irresponsible and weak races that usurped the Necrons' domain. The success of these dynasties can be credited to the Necrons' highly advanced technology that somehow miraculously survived the 60 million years of hibernation. These technologies were powerful enough to wage war against the old ones, and they are now being used against humanity and every other race stupid enough to stand in the Necrons' way. The dynasty that exemplifies this arrogant power is the Nihilakh dynasty. And with that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to have a quick little lore video on the Nihilakh dynasty. If you guys are new to the channel, we post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, share with your friends. But with all that said, let's get into 40 Facts on the Nihilakh dynasty. The Nihilakh dynasty has garnered a fearsome reputation amongst the galaxy's younger races since their worlds began to awaken. At first, the warriors of the dynasty operated under a defensive protocol, believing that only their crown world was being attacked. This meant that all trespassers onto their sacred tomb world would be annihilated and any of their primitive infrastructure destroyed. As more and more of the dynasty began to rise from their great sleep, the Nihilakh discovered that much of their ancient territory had been invaded. Worthless species made out of weak flesh and blood had foolishly settled on their domain. This infestation of lesser beings was so bad that even the fringe worlds were being pillaged of whatever resources they had. Faced with very real danger of being overrun, their surviving nobility consolidated the dynasty's strength upon the newly reconquered crown world of Gendon. Luckily, the Nihilakh had always been a tremendously rich dynasty and had funneled much of their vast resource wealth into the core world's hyperspatial vaults. Now they drew upon their horde to fashion legion upon legion of war engines, raise mighty defenses, and equip their warriors with the finest weaponry imaginable. There was even enough resources to send out legions of data-collecting scarabs that created the best possible extermination protocols for each unique threat. No fortress or citadel was left standing after each assault as the Nihilakh swept through their former domain, clearing out planet after planet. There were some worlds that put up a decent fight, but their fate had been sealed from the moment the dynasty crawled out of their tomb complex. After losing their claim on the Necron land, the lesser races hurled their armies against the newly fortified borders of the Nihilakh dynasty, and they were rebuffed with devastating casualties. To the arrogant Nihilakh dynasty, every race that attempted to counterattack or recapture their land was to be made an example of. The warriors of the dynasty would not rest until the perceived impotence of the attackers had been ruthlessly punished with utter annihilation. The well-appointed Nihilakh legions had another advantage in their war for survival. Greatest of the dynasty's cosmic treasures was the preserved head of the Yitzir, the last of its race, and a means by which the Necrons could peer into the skins of the future. Armed with such a prescient intelligence, the Nihilakh struck precisely where and when they needed to in order to crush any interlopers, transforming their defensive stance into a more offensive march of conquest. Now the Nihilakh legions are on the march, seizing and heavily fortifying new territories with Noctilith pylons before advancing again. They have openly aligned themselves with the return of the Silent King and seek nothing short of galactic dominance for their people. And that's the lore on the Necron Nihilakh dynasty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and talk to you tomorrow. This is Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first, and then